Welcome to Chats with Cass. Today I want to talk about the interesting experience I had, the connection between your fears in your body today and what might actually be connected to and be bringing you information about your past lives. So let's get into it. The other day I was receiving training for something I do at work, and as we're going through this training and the materials are laid out in front of me, I felt in my body my blood pressure rising, the anxiety, the chest clench, and just like my body was having a visceral reaction to the materials that were laid out in front of me and the experience and the words and what was being said. And I was like, what the heck? Why am I being so emotional? I've never been around this before. I've never experienced that in this lifetime that I know of. Like, I know for a fact I haven't been around that. And so I just kind of like breathed through it, got through it. Um, and I knew immediately I had to take a break. So I went to my car and just allowed myself to cry and weep and have that, like, it was almost like a panic attack, but it didn't go fully into a panic attack. But like, I was like, "Okay, body, what are you telling me?" Like the wisdom that was in my body. I was like, "What the heck?" And that little quiet voice was like, "We've been here before. Like in a past life, you were, um, like to disclose more details, it was like in a past life you were injecting addict, and there was so much darkness, and it was like that was like the quiet message that came to me, and I was like, what? I was like, that's crazy. You can actually have that kind of a bodily reaction to something that's from different lifetimes ago. And sure enough, so, luckily I have really awesome friends, and I tell my one friend, I'm like, dude, this is crazy. I'm feeling like so emotional right now. I'm so stressed out. Like, this is a really intense day. I was definitely like, around this stuff in a past life, and it has me so triggered. And she's like, dude, for sure, there's no doubt. Because luckily I have really amazing friends that also believe in this woo woo, whatever you want to call it, but it's not woo woo, it's just facts. Just that validation there allowed me to be like, okay, so now what have I learned in my training, as a professional, as a Reiki professional, as a practicing psychic, um, intuitive, my own soul gifts. Like, what have I learned? I've learned that if there's stuff that comes up in a past life, there's one, it's coming up to look at, to be cleared, and to be for those whatever no longer serves, like whatever is experience is still in my body, in my DNA, in my nervous system. It's There's some sort of release going to be happening, but also there's usually a message. There's usually some sort of information that I can gain from that. So the next few weeks, I just ask my guides, okay, whatever lessons I'm supposed to learn from that past life, I just kept sending so much forgiveness, so much self-forgiveness for not being able to get out of that heavy addiction in that past life, because I wasn't. I did die, and it's very like I can see it. I've had the visions, I've had the dreams. It's like night and day. It's very just like there. So what can I gain from this experience? And it was just sending so much love and compassion and self forgiveness for that dark time and that struggle. And is there any way I can like use that experience to maybe help and benefit others in this lifetime, right? So, with that story said, that I encourage you guys to do too. What can I learn from this? And even if you're not getting any answers, or you're like, I don't friggin' know, it's just so overwhelming and scary. Usually, when you're able to change the narrative, it helps a lot. Take the emotional charge out of it, um, just a little bit at least. So it's not as intense, and you can kind of separate yourself and remind your body that today I'm not in that lifetime. Today I'm okay. I'm in this body in this lifetime. Everything's okay around me. Look for the evidence. Okay. So it's like almost like using CBT techniques, but with the spiritual side of my nervous system remembers these things that happened in past lives. So how can I bring myself back? Yeah, so then I went and of course I'm like, "Okay, I need to book a session with my healer." And I did, and sure enough, there was a lot of stuff from that lifetime coming to be forgiven and to be freed and to release, and I could feel it leaving my body. So I just want to share that because it's really interesting. I feel like when people have fears of heights or fears of deep water or I've actually encountered a lot of situations like this, maybe not as intense since I think I was turning 5 when I was 5 years old, but I've had a lot of experiences in my lifetime of having a visceral reaction to something that then my brain, in my mind's eye, I get a flashback of being back in one of those past lives, which is really interesting. And it's not to stay stuck in that lifetime because that lifetime is over, it's gone now, even though time is not linear, but you get what I'm saying. Um, it's all just learning and clearing, so we can be our most whole, worthy, authentic selves. It's just peeling back the onion layers time and time again, shedding of the skin, right? The growth happens in a spiral. So we revisit some of those things time and time again, but the growth is still happening. It's not just a circle that never ends, it's a spiral that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. Anyways, sidetrack. Yeah, so I just am always mind blown the more that I learn and the more I experience these things that happen in how the body, physical body, is actually so connected to the energy and spirit. So even though maybe science hasn't fully caught up to being able to prove certain things, it very much so is catching up. Example, epigenetic trauma. Now there's like proof that what has been said for millions of years or thousands of years by different indigenous tribes and whatever, it's like, oh, actually, they were right all along. Um, it's interesting with how I think there's a really big shift happening in how the consciousness of how healing and medical things and ailments, like, it's only just at the start of beginning to shift, but we are seeing a lot more nowadays about nervous system regulation and that. And it's fascinating because the thing is you don't have to really know exactly what happened in your past lifetime. I, have been really honing in on my psychic abilities. It's just a natural gift. I know not everyone gets to see visuals. People experience their psychic gifts different ways. There's lots of different clairs. I can make a video on the different clairs. Yeah, so anyone can rewrite and release those karmic ailments and the karmic trauma and those painful experiences that live inside your bones and your DNA, because your nervous system is like a memory board. It's like a computer's memory board and how it's wired, and it gets wired from all these different experiences of different lives. And we get the opportunity to rewire that to be able to just exist in this lifetime. I wanted to share that with you all because maybe you've had similar experiences. If so, I'd love for you to let me know in the comments what was a fear that you've acknowledged in this lifetime that is actually maybe from a past life. So, have you been able to release that and move forward? Yeah, let's start a conversation about this because it's super interesting. Okay, thanks. Bye.